today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Justin Rohrwasser sets Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down. And his first pass is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So they have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
To throw on 3rd down. Day. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Detroit gearing up for their opening drive here, led by Matthew Stone. The veteran, former #1 pick back in 2009.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down.
11-yard line.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 catches, 54 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Here's Stafford. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Hunter Bryant, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are going to take a 1st quarter lead. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Rohrwasser out to kick off, and he'll send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. 2nd interception for him now here in this 1st first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Carry here for Johnson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Johnson.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter, and the Lions are able to grow their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Warwasser out to kick off, and he'll send this one away. Returning it, Johnson. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 6. Now Cook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Jamie Collins makes the tackle. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. It is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Back to throw. Stafford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up. First and goal. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another first and goal. A throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, but it'll be second and goal.
Second down and goal at the 5-yard line.
Stafford looks to throw again. And it is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Tyler Higbee there to make the grab. And the Lions add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Well, a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes.
And here's another interception, the third of his first quarter. It's Desmond Trufant, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So call off the pick six.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over, maybe even starting with this game.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2nd and 11 at the 41. From the gun, Day. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. He may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Day. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. 21-0 our score after 1. Now the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
At the 28-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cook. There's some space here. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
10.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
It's a gain of 17.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run with a former Bulldog. It's the rookie DeAndre Swift. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Tackle made at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
It's a gain of 6.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings' 26.
He was brought down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They stay on the ground on 1st for Johnson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
To carry on Johnson.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Justin Rohrwasser.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here comes Johnson on the return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. On 1st and 10, Day. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Day. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Day. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
43, Dalvin Cook.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two, because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Day. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's trying to parlay that great performance last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, into a great performance in Week 3.
And the way he was able to do it last week, he started off doing it again this week. Energy, the way he comes off the line of scrimmage, attacks the defense, sends them back on their heels, and he finds openings as a result.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, helped scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stanford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Stafford's pass, complete to Tyler Higbee.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On first down, Stafford here. He'll get this one to Galladay. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Stafford on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Second and 10.
Brings up second and 10.
To throw again. Stafford, open man, Higbee to tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. DeAndre Swift, the intended receiver that time. But it's going to be second down. Second and 10, Stafford again. Well, finds Swift out of the backfield. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. To the air again, Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
So just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Now here's Johnson. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. So here are the Lions to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. On first and 10, Stafford. Caught by Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
First down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Johnson, the ball carrier.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
From the 39, Stafford under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Stafford sacked. A loss of 8 yards.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll find Galladay, that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The 9-yard line.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Tyler Higbee with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Rohrwasser out to kick off, and he'll send this one away. Johnson now returning. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. And he's found the end zone twice. And now here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's Coleman. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
43-yard line.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to throw. Day. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Day. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Pressure, he's going to be taken down. They're sacking back right around the 44. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and the Lions will take over.
24-yard line.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And nobody in the stadium feels better than he does right now. Just a slew of touchdown passes. He's been spectacular.
And you and I both know this is a team game, one of the best team games that's out there. But right now, I've forgotten what the scoreboard even says. Just watching what he's doing,
It's been fun.
that's been mesmerizing and a whole lot of fun to watch.
He's hoping to keep it going here in the 3rd quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Loss of 5 yards. And it's 3rd down. 3rd and 13.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Able to push his way through. To the right and complete to Galladay. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations. There'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a gain of 8.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space. Maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep or protest out of them. That's just who they are. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw on third down. Day. He finds Coleman. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Vikings. Big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from the wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you're doing across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
At the 38-yard line.
On second down, Johnson. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. They'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Dalvin Cook, the ball carrier.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. From the gun, Day. He finds his man Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had a big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
On first down, Day. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 34. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be second down from the 24. They'll go again on 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
Lining up for the point.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll try and run down some clock with Johnson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Taken down right.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here now, Johnny Townsend as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is caught. They only get 4, but the fake punt works and gets them a 1st down. Well, kind of interesting for sure. It worked out for them. They only had a yard to go. You know, when you do that fake punt, you're kind of starting back further than you need to when you only have 1 yard.
Yeah, and I guess they felt like that was a true full fake because most of the time with a yard to go, you leave your offense on the field, you run something from your playbook. But here, they gave the full impression they were going to punt it away and picked up the 1st down. They definitely surprised us.
I was going to say surprise, surprise. I'll have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year.